New fallout from some bold remarks by California Senator Democrat Barbara Boxer. Take a listen to her advice to American voters when it comes to the November election.
I got to say to the women out there, whether you're a Republican, a Democrat, or an independent, if you're a self-respecting human being, please vote for President Obama. And to the men who care about women, do the same thing.
Joining me now, David Webb, host of the David Webb Show and co-founder of Tea Party 365, and Jehmu Greene, former president of the Women's Media Center and a Fox News contributor. So, David, if you decide to vote for Mitt Romney, you are not a self-respecting human being.
You know, I'm trying not to smile, but take it within the context of what Barbara Boxer is trying to do, Megyn. She's saying to women that you are so incapable of making your own mind up that we, the Democrat Party, are going to take care of it. You're going to be single-issue voters. You don't think about the economy, national security. And by the way, you're uncaring. And men, if you care, you've got to vote for Obama. This is the worst kind of identity politics, and this is the problem we see going on right now. It's not about solutions. It's not about really putting forward what fixes the economy and the issues, but about keeping voting blocs bound by fear over what needs to be done to fix this country.
Jehmu, this reminds me a little bit of the bumper stickers we used to see when President Bush was at the end of his presidency around New York City that read, "If you're not outraged, you're not paying attention." The assumption that your views are right and everybody else's are wrong, and if the other people disagree with you, they either are not self-respecting or they're not paying attention or they're somehow less informed than you are. Is that a way to win votes?
No, but that's not what Senator Boxer was saying. She was clearly articulating what actually Susan B. Anthony said back in 1872, that no woman should wish for the success or work for a party that ignores its sex. And what we have seen since women put the Tea Party and the Republicans in control across this country in 2010, their rights have been trampled on. And just like we've heard from our mothers probably all of our lives, we put you there and we're going to take you out. She is talking to not just women, but the men who care about equal pay. In this day and age, how can anyone be against equal pay? Governor Romney and Republicans are. Scott Walker just repealed the equal pay statute. In this day and age, how can anyone be against violence against women?
This is a
the Republican House
proposal,
members
Jehmu.
just voted against the violence against women.
Are you kidding me?
All right, you want to know what the real?
I think you misspoke there.
You know what the real problem here is?
Correct, Megyn. Thank you.
The real war on women, Megyn, are those that want to control their support or control their vote. This is a ridiculous proposition that Jehmu's putting forward, that suddenly those on the right don't care about women. They hate women. This is the demagoguery that doesn't belong in our politics.
I never used the word hate, David. I never used the word hate.
But let me just interject, because that discussion, whether there's a war on women, whether there's, Republican war on women, a Democratic war on moms, whatever it is, that seems to be yesterday's, last week's, the week before. This is a narrative that comes up every so often in these election cycles, and I can tell you just from the emails, it really ticks people off to be told if they don't think like whoever's speaking, that they are getting dismissed, that they must not respect themselves, that they must essentially be stupid. They're too stupid to understand what's good for them, David.
Yeah, I mean, this is telling women that you're too smart to make up your own mind. As Americans, you have that ability to look for the right information, decide which candidate, which policies support, which party support you want to align with. But again, the goal of the Democrats, especially the left wing, which now controls it, is to tell every voting bloc what and who you need to be, and this is the narrative. In other words, Democrats say, women, all that matters to you is your so-called reproductive rights, so we're going to control that for you. Well, women are independent voters. They're critical thinkers. They go beyond that. They are not so limiting.
Are you for equal pay, David Webb?
Yes,
are you for equal pay? Then are you talking to Governor Scott Walker about why he repealed the equal pay statute? Are you talking to Governor Romney about why he said he wasn't sure about equal pay in the Lilly Ledbetter Act?
Well, the Lilly Ledbetter Act, for one thing, was not written to resolve the problem.
And the Tea Party that you guys sold us a bill of goods. Yes, women are responsible
for putting Republicans
Let me jump in. They don't like it when we talk over each other. Jehmu, I want to ask you, this is an ongoing theme with Senator Boxer. Remember, she had the old dust-up with the general
Yeah,
who was
she's too
testifying before her, and she was like, it's Senator. You know, it's a matter of respect. Now, again, with the respect, if you're a self-respecting human being, you have to vote for President Obama. Where is the respect for people who disagree with her?
Well, first of all, as a United States Senator, Megyn, she does deserve the respect of being called by her title. And I think that's something that anyone can expect. The president should expect it, but we don't see Republicans behaving in that way. At the end of the day, what this is going to boil down to is not just reproductive rights, because these are Republicans who, on one hand, yes, they're trying to stick it to us by forcing us to have transvaginal ultrasounds, but they're also sticking it to us by taking money out of our pocketbooks, taking money out of our households. This isn't just something that women are going to be upset about. This is also the men who in those households are losing that money. Equal pay is going to be a key issue in this.
David, let me ask you.
President Obama
went a different way, and even though I love her, didn't exactly answer my question. What about the respect that somebody like Barbara Boxer, a U.S. Senator, ought to have for those who have legitimate disagreements with her position? Do we have to demonize those on the other side of the aisle?
Well, and Megyn, that's what I believe in. That's what I call the conservative brain believes in. Look, we don't have a narrative, and you have to fit into the narrative. We want a healthy debate on the issues. We want to give the respect to both sides. But when you have this demagoguery, again, Senator, call me Senator, when a general addresses her as ma'am, is a lack of respect for the general who has attained that position. This is about a narrative versus solutions, and Democrats, frankly, in this day and age, don't respect the other side. It's all demagoguery.
All right, I gotta go. It was a good debate, as always, you two. Thank you both so much. Happy Friday.